Alright, so today we're going to review Unit 1 and 2, which are functions, okay? So first we're going to review solving an equation. Now solving an equation is really just a systems of equation, okay? So anytime it tells you to solve an equation, you can put left-hand side of the equal sign in line 1, and you can put right-hand side in line 2, okay? And then just find where x intersects, okay? So let's go to Desmos, and let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let's get Desmos pulled up. Graphic calculator. Alright, so left-hand side is line 1, and right-hand side is line 2. Okay, I'm trying to get it pulled up so we can. Alright, here we go. So left-hand side. Oh, I should have had that fixed. Alright, so here we go. We're going to say y equals the left-hand side. Y equals, and it was -5, absolute value. Where's my absolute value? There it is. Absolute value of -7x. And anytime it doesn't say x, just put x, okay? -7, close the bar. And then right-hand side is line 2, so y will equal, whoops. Y will equal -70. Okay? You want to find where they intersect. So we're just going to scroll until we find where they intersect. And looky here. My answer is going to be -3 and 1. And that's all you have to do when you solve. So x will equal -3 and 1. And you're done. Okay? Alright. Number 2, it wants us to solve it. So we go back to Desmos. Okay? Left-hand side line 1, right-hand side line 2. So left-hand side is going to be y equals 6. Absolute value of 10x minus 5. Close the absolute value. Right-hand side is line 2. It was y equals 90. And now I'm going to click home. Okay, home takes you back to where you were. And we're going to find where these two intersect. Okay? Right here. So my answer is going to be -1 and 2. Okay? Alright, so solve the inequality. So I didn't make these multiple choice, but I think it's multiple choice on your worksheet today. So I'm going to show you how you can use your multiple choice to solve this inequality. Okay? So let's get some multiple choice questions up here. Alright, so here's some multiple choice, because it's what you're going to probably see, okay? So you can actually just kind of guesstimate this stuff by typing it into Desmos, okay? So what we're going to do is so this one you can type the whole thing into the line, okay? So we're going to go to Desmos, and I'm going to type this whole problem in, okay? So it was -10 absolute value of 4 minus 9x, close the absolute value, and then it was less than, with no bar underneath it, -50. Okay? Here it goes. Okay? So, if you look, I'm going to zoom out. Okay? Well, this red box keeps extending, right? So, it looks like over here on the left, it's going to -infinity. Over here on the right, it's going to +infinity. But, it can't be this white spot right here. So, if you look, it's a little bit less than 0, right? So, this red is less than this number. And this is 1. This red is greater than 1. So when I go back here, I want to find something that's greater than 1. That says greater than 1. Well, if you look, here's a greater than 1. That's the only one, isn't it? Here's a less than -1/9. Didn't I say it's a little bit less than 0? Well, that's -1/9. So your answer would be D. Okay? All right, let me show you what I mean. Let's do another one. So number 2 is going to be... do I have it? Yeah. So number 2 is going to be the absolute value of 8x plus 1, absolute value divided by 6, and it was greater than or equal to 2. Here it goes again. So if you look, it looks like this left-hand side, my answers are, so it's a decimal, but it looks like it's something less than 1. Over here, it looks like it's something greater than 1. So it looks like here is something less than close to -1, close to 1 that's greater than 1. So I come over here. So I need something that's greater than something close to 1. Well, if you want to, you can convert all these these fractions to decimals. Okay, let's do that. So 52, well, we know it ain't 52. We know it ain't this one because 10's nowhere near it. So that one's not it. Okay, so this one's not it either. So let's try these two. So let's get 11 over 8. 11 over 8 is 1.375. So was my answer greater than something close to 1.375? Yeah, that one could possibly be it. So this one's 13 over 8. So let's do 13 divided by 8. That's going to be negative 1.625. So this is saying my x's were less than this negative 1.6. Yeah, that could be it. Okay. Here, this is saying my x's are between these two numbers. My x's, no, your x's can't be this white. Your x's are the color. So it can't be that one. So therefore it has to be B. Okay? Alright. Let's do the next two. So this one, we're going to type it into Desmos. And it's going to be the absolute value of 9x. Whoops. 9x plus 9 divided by 8. And it's going to be greater than or equal to 2. Again, looks like my x's are going to be less than a number close to negative 3. And looks like they're going to be greater than a number close to 1. So, I know it can't be this, and I know it can't be that, because we're nowhere near those numbers. So, it has to be A. Okay? See how I can use process elimination by using Desmos? So, last one. So, it's going to be 6 minus 6x, close absolute value, minus 8, and that's going to be greater than 46. Okay? Alright, so we got to zoom out on this one. So if you look, that was an 8, right? So it looks like my x's are less than 8. So my x's are less than 8. Okay? Here's one that's less than 8. Okay? That's the only one, but let's just keep going. Okay? And this one, my x's are greater than 10. And that's going to be this guy right there. Okay? Alright, so that's how you use your multiple choice to help you with those. Now, word problems, your absolute value word problems. So it says the ideal diameter of a piston for one type of car is 88 millimeters. The actual diameter can vary from the ideal diameter by at most 0.007. Find the range. This is where knowing your vocabulary helps you. Range is really just, it means the difference, right? So difference is subtract, okay? So you always have absolute value of x minus, see how it says at most? At most means less than or equal to. See how it says at most this? So that goes with the inequality and your other number goes inside. Every time. Okay, for this class. So again, it's going to be x minus situation and a less than or equal to. See how it says by at most this? That's going to go with your inequality. And it doesn't want it to be, that's the ideal weight, so that's what goes in here. Okay? Alright. So piecewise, I'm actually going to show you a useful tool on Desmos with piecewise. Okay? You can actually make a table of values on Desmos with piecewise. Okay? So let me show you how to do that. So I go here. So what you do is you're going to type in line by line, okay? So we're going to type in the first line of the piecewise, okay? We're going to type in this line right here first. That's line 1, then line 2, then line 3, okay? So, line 1, you still got to have y equals, so it'll be y equals negative x squared, okay, plus 2x. Now, you have to put the inequality in there. To put the inequality in there, all you do is put the curly brackets. Okay, you got to have your inequality in the curly brackets. Okay, and it was x is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, now I want to make a table of values for this guy. In order to make a table of values for this guy, you click this wheelie button right here. It says edit list. When you do that, you've got 3 options. That means to delete. That means to duplicate. This makes it a table of values. Click it. And now I have a table of values I can play with. Okay? Go to line 2. Let's type it in. 2 So we're going to say y equals 2 parentheses 1/3. Whoops, 1/3. Close your parentheses, and it was raised to the 2x power. You need to put the inequality in the curly brackets, and it was -3 is less than x, which is less than 4. I want to convert it to a table. So I go up here to the settings, and I convert it to a table, okay? Basically, this table is doing your calculations for you. A table is just where you evaluate a number in that function. So it's really, all this table is doing is just helping you do the math for you, okay? And it even includes when it can't happen. And then we're going to divide by x minus 7. Okay. I want my curly brackets. And in my curly brackets, x is greater than or equal to 4. Okay. I want to convert it to a table, so I convert it to a table. All right. Now let's go back to our problem. So in parentheses is what you plug into the equation. Okay. Whatever's in parentheses is what you plug in. The 2 on the outside stays there. Okay. But I want to see which one I can plug -2 in. So I go here. Okay. We're going to start at top. -2. Can the first graph be -2? No, it says undefined. Can the second graph be -2? Yeah, it's 162. So we're going to go back here and we're going to replace f of -2 with 162. Minus, and it has the 3. Now I need to figure out where 1 fits into this graph. So, can the first one be 1? Nope, it's undefined. Can the second one be 1? It can. It's 0.22222. Okay? 0.22222. I'd play around with that. I think it's, let's see. No, is it 120? No, I can't remember 0.22222. Uh, 0.222. We're just going to leave it as 0.222. I think it's, I'm struggling here. Alright, so it's 2/9, but I don't think you're going to have a problem like this. So it's 2/9. So we're going to go back to the word, and it was 2/9. Okay? Now I need to figure out where 6 fits in. Okay? So 6, so you see how 6 is not written up here? Well, all you have to do is go to the table, backspace a number, and type 6. So the first one can't be 6. Go to the second one, type 6. It can't be 6. Go to the third one, delete it, type 6. 6 is -7. Okay? Then all you have to do is type this right here into Desmos, and it'll give you your answer. Okay? So 2 times 162. So it's 2 times 162. I don't know why I gave such a difficult problem when we were doing this. I'll change that for next year. 3 times 2/9. Then it's -3 times 2/9. But you get the gist of it, okay? It's not going to be this difficult. And it'll be -7. So my answer would be that, okay? So don't worry, it won't be that difficult when you're doing these on the EOC. I don't really know why I chose that one. Alright, let's do the next one. So the next one, let's see if I can split screen. There we go. And then I want Desmos. Okay, split screen. Alright, so this one, pay attention. It has an F and an H, okay? Now, I can only plug this 10 into this F function, and I can only plug this -2 in this H function. So I'm going to have to do it twice. But you're getting it right, so that's all that matters. Okay, so we're going to type the first one in. Y equals -x minus 4, curly brackets, and it's going to be x is less than 3. Okay, I want to convert it to a table. Let's go. Okay, now while you're converting it to a table, you can see I want to plug 10 in. 10's not up here. There we go. So 10's not up there, so I want to delete it and put 10 up there. Well, the first one can't be 10, so let's keep going. Y equals x squared minus 7, curly brackets, and it's going to be 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 10. Make it a table. I need to see where 10 fits in here. Okay, so I type 10 in. So 10 can be this one, so you're done. So now I can say 5. I'm going to replace f of 10 with 93. Minus 3. Now I need to find out in this h function where negative 2 can fit in. So I'm going to delete everything. And let's start. So y equals x plus 3, curly brackets. X is less than negative 2. Convert it to a table. And I'm looking for negative 2. So this one can't be negative 2, so let's go to the next one. Y equals x squared, curly brackets. Negative 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 1. Convert it to a table. Can it be negative 2? Yeah, it's 4. So I'm going to replace that with 4. Now I'm going to type this mini expression I have over here. 5 times 93 minus 3 times 4. So my answer is 453. And that's all you have to do with piecewise, guys. All right. The next one is another solving problem. When you solve, all you're doing is finding the intersection, guys. Left-hand side line 1, right-hand side line 2. And it works with any solving problem. Y equals negative 2. We're going to say parentheses 20. Raise it. Now, if you have a longer exponent, you have to use parentheses. X plus 1, x plus 4. The next line is y equals negative 80. I need to find where these two intersect. So, we got to find negative 80 because that's where they're going to intersect. Okay, so I'm going to go home. We're going to scroll till we get to negative 80. Right here, my answer is negative 2.769, guys. Look how easy it is to solve equations now with Desmos. Okay, if you know how to type, you can solve now. All right, let's do number 3 since it's on this side of the screen. So we're going to say y equals 5 minus 9. To find your log, you have to go to Functions, Miscellaneous. You want the log base. That's 12. The 7x is going to go in the parentheses. And then it's going to be the right-hand side is going to be line 2. Y equals negative 22. So I'm going to go to negative 22. Where am I at? Okay, that's negative. Negative 22 is right here. So I'm going to have to scroll over. Oh, I put 2 equal signs. I was like, why am I not seeing that line? So here's the line, but we got to find where they intersect. So we keep scrolling. You can zoom out too if you want to. And to find the dot, just click. And that if you click on the equation, the gray dot will appear. And that's your answer. 246.857. Okay? Alright, so let's do some more. So left-hand side, line 1. Y equals 10 to the x plus 3. And then close it. Get down. Minus 8. Line 2 is y equals negative 3. Oops. I did something again. I put 2 equal signs. Lord help me. Go home. Look, it's right there. Answer is negative 2.301. Okay? All right, number 4. Last solving one. So negative 6 functions. Log base 8. Get into the parentheses of 8x plus 2. And then this one's going to be y equals negative 4. Just a quick thing. If you type something in and you get an error, always try putting a y equals. And if the y equals doesn't help, set it equal to 0. Okay, that's the Desmos trick. If your stuff won't graph for you, first try y equals. And if y equals doesn't work, then set it equal to 0, and that might work too. Okay? All right. So right here's my intersection, and so it's going to be 0.25. Okay? All right. Next part is some graphs. When it wants to know how something has an effect on the graph, just go over and do an experiment. So it's saying, what effect does K have on the graph if it's increasing? So if K increases, it wants to know what it's doing. Well, how about let's play around with that and let's increase K. Y equals, start with a low number, 2 absolute value of X plus 3. So there's my baseline right there, okay? Let's increase the 2. Let's go to 4. Y equals 4 absolute value of X plus 3. All right, let's do it again. Let's increase it. Let's increase it to 10 this time. X plus 3. So what's happening to these graphs? The purple one's the baseline. They're getting skinnier, aren't they? And the way to get skinnier is to pull somebody from the top and bottom. And if you're pulling somebody up from the top or bottom, that's vertically. So what's happening is you're vertically stretching. Okay? All right, let's try 14. Which isn't really 14, but I didn't renumber, I don't think. Maybe I did. All right, so the next one says, what happens when K decreases? So let's start with a high K and decrease it 3 times, okay? So Y equals 3 parentheses X minus 2 squared. Oh, that's a cube. That's a cubed. And then plus K. So let's make it plus 10, okay? Now let's decrease that, and we're going to say X minus 2 parentheses cubed. Let's decrease 10 to 5, okay? All right, and now let's decrease it to 2. So what's happening to this graph? It's going down. So when that K decreases, it goes down. Okay? All right, I messed up on 15, so we're just going to skip it. I didn't really put a K. All right, so now we're done with Desmos for this section, or for this. So next part is finding the inverse. Anytime you see the word inverse, it means to switch your X and Y. Graphically, tabular? I don't know. Or equation, algebraically, your first thing is to switch X and Y. So if you look at 16, it's Y equals the cube root of X cubed, cube root of X minus 3. Okay? So switch your X and Y. So now it's X equals the cube root of Y minus 3. And then do what you've done since the beginning of your algebra days when X came into the program. You're solving for Y. When you're solving for Y, you get rid of the person who's furthest away from Y, which will be 3 here. So we're going to add 3. So now I have X plus 3 equals the cube root of Y. If to get rid of the square root, you square it, that means you're going to cube the cube root. So Y now equals X plus 3 cubed. And that's the inverse. Okay? All right, let's do another one. So let's do so I can see. Let's do Y equals 2X cubed plus 3. Switch X and Y. And then solve. Get rid of the furthest one. The furthest one is 3, so we're going to subtract 3. Now I have X minus 3 equals 2Y cubed. The next furthest is 2, so I'm going to divide by 2. So now I have X minus 3 divided by 2 equals Y cubed. To get rid of a cube, you do the same thing we did. We do the opposite we did over here. You take the cube root. So the inverse equals the cube root of X minus 3 over 2. All right. Last problem for this review video, okay, is Y equals negative 4X plus 1. Switch X and Y. X equals negative 4Y plus 1. Subtract 1. So I have X minus 1 equals negative 4Y. Then divide by negative 4. So Y equals X minus 1 divided by negative 4. All right, so that is it for this review. All right, stay tuned for tomorrow's.